You sit down and see what they can get the shot. Thank
Sorry, you guys.
No, sit. Sit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
Oh, you know.
Where's your camera? Seriously?
All right, I gotta go pick from my mute.
Mr. President, I need
We're walking this.
to win re-election.
He's going to win re-election anyway.
Do you need a strong statement at the beginning of addressing the re-election?
She said he's gonna.
afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here this afternoon. I want to thank Mayor McMorrin of Culver City. I want to acknowledge my colleagues, Senator Padilla, Congresswoman Sidney Kamlacher-Dove, Chair of the Board of Supervisors, Lindsay Horvat, Supervisor Holly Mitchell. I want to thank the mayor again for having us in the amazing city of Culver City. What the president is here to do today is a part of his ongoing commitment to future generations. Skyrocketing student loan debt doesn't just prohibit young people from getting the education they need and deserve. Student loan debt prevents young people from buying a car. Student loan debt prevents young people from buying a house and starting a family. Addressing student loan debt should be thought of as a jobs initiative. This should be thought of as a housing initiative. This should be thought of as an economic motivator for young people throughout the country. Student loan debt cripples our workforce, especially when it comes to addressing homelessness. We need more social workers, more mental health specialists, and more service providers. By tackling student loan debt, young people will be able to pursue these professions that save lives. That is what addressing this issue means. And frankly, canceling debt for millions will be life-changing in and of itself. So again, thank you, Mr. President, for bringing us all together today to highlight the amazing work that you've done to protect and to propel younger generations into success. And now I'm excited to introduce Dr. Jessica St. Paul, a fellow physician assistant and public health practitioner who has dedicated her career to supporting underserved communities. She has made meaningful contributions to our region, working as an adjunct professor for the Los Angeles Community College District and developing and implementing wellness centers for students throughout LA Unified School District. It is also, of course, my distinct honor to introduce the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden, who has been a champion for working families and continues to lead with strength, reestablishing our country's position in the world. President Biden is rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure and has delivered historic investments to combat climate change. Los Angeles has truly known no greater partner than the President and his administration. Mr. President, our city and our region is grateful for the work you have done and will continue to do so. On behalf of the 4 million Angelenos, we say thank you. Welcome, Dr. St. Paul and President Joe Biden.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Jessica St. Paul, a first-generation Haitian American from Los Angeles, California. As a licensed physician assistant, educator, and public health practitioner, I teach public health and health occupations. I am a proud American Federation of Teachers, Los Angeles College Faculty Guild 1521 union member. I took out student loans to get my undergraduate degree at Howard University, my master's degree at UCLA, and then my doctoral degree, because I wanted to be better equipped and I wanted to serve my community. I wanted to live my own American dream. I've been working hard, faced with repaying my loans for almost 2 decades. But like millions of Americans, doing the right thing wasn't enough. As I paid my loans, I was steered into forbearance by my loan servicer. The interest grew and grew. I took out approximately $95,000 in loans, but after 18 years in repayment, I still had $144,652 left. It's crushing until President Biden, who kept his commitment and completely forgave that $144,652, and that's life-changing. I no longer have to be forced to choose to work or to settle to simply pay off student loan debt. I'm able to continue my passion for public service and keep serving as an adjunct faculty with the Community College District and as a physician assistant at school-based health centers. I am now married. I'm able to pay my mortgage in Los Angeles. This freedom, this breathing room, is because of President Joe Biden. And just 2 weeks ago, I had my baby girl. It's a defining moment for me to live my dream of being a mom, because President Biden has the back of hardworking Americans, public servants just like me. I can invest in my retirement, secure a brighter future for my daughter. It is with great honor and gratitude to introduce to you our President, Joe Biden.
What's the baby's name? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, Dr. St. Paul, thank you very much for the introduction. But you know, you're like thousands of others who took out loans for undergraduate school and graduate school, and because you wanted to serve your community, and you have. But in the meantime, that $90,000 you borrowed grew to $145,000, even though you kept paying on a monthly basis. Folks, I'm happy to have been able to forgive these loans, because when we realize and relieve Americans of their student debt, they're free to chase their dreams. And Doc, you got one of your dreams, your baby girl, going to file a... By the way, an awful lot of people with student debt are putting off whether they can have a child, whether they can... a whole range of basic fundamental issues. And Mayor Bass, thank you for your partnership, and maybe more importantly for me, your friendship. And I want to thank the Culver City Mayor. Where are you, Mayor? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's great to be joined by members of Congress, Alex and the Senate and Sydney in the House. I really appreciate your being here. It's a busman's holiday for you guys to come here and other public officials speak, but thank you. And I know our great Vice President sends her love to all our California friends. She constantly, all I hear about is California, you know. I'm glad to be here. When I was Vice President, all I heard about was Chicago, you know. But I'm trying to make sure they hear about Delaware, but it ain't working yet. Look, Kamala and I ran to lead this country. We made a commitment to fix our broken student loan system. That was one of the things we both talked about in the beginning. Because while a college degree is still a ticket to a better life, that ticket is too expensive. And too many Americans are still saddled with unsustainable debt in exchange for a college degree. So there's a student loan program to be able to afford a college degree, but a lot of people didn't take advantage of it, and I wanted to make sure they did. The ability to repay, though, has become so burdensome. A lot of people can't even repay, and they try. They don't miss payments. They work like the devil every month to pay their bills. But even they pay their loans, their debt increases, doesn't diminish because of interest rates. And I thought I'd make a lot more sense to relieve student debt for families and it would grow our economy. Well, there were existing programs in the law to fix and adjust the programs. We had to change them to make people actually make them available for people, make people eligible. And that's what I've done when the Supreme Court said I couldn't go ahead and relieve all the debt. It helps everyone, not just the people whose debt is relieved, but when people in student debt are student debt relieved, they buy homes, they start businesses, they contribute, they engage in the community in ways they weren't able to before. It actually grows the economy. It grows the economy. That's why my administration has taken significant action to provide student debt relief to so many borrowers that many who didn't know they were able to get relief, and do it as quickly and as possible. Look, early in my term, I announced a major plan to provide millions of working families with debt relief for their college student debt. Tens of millions of people in debt were literally about to be canceled, their debts. But my MAGA Republican friends in the Congress, the elected officials and special interests stepped in and sued us, and the Supreme Court blocked it. They blocked it. But that didn't stop me. I announced we were going to pursue alternative paths for student debt relief. for as many borrowers as possible. And that's the effort that's been underway the last 2 years. I fixed what's called the SAVE plan. It existed, but I fixed it to make it the most affordable repayment plan ever. Before I took office, student borrowers had to pay 10% of their discretionary income on a monthly basis. If they didn't have enough to do that, they were able to not have to pay that month, but the interest continued. A lot of people don't have the means to do that, though. Under my SAVE plan, we're cutting in half to 5% the undergraduate borrowers, what undergraduate borrowers have to pay after their living expenses are accounted for. That means no one with an undergraduate loan, whether it's a community college or a four-year college, will have to pay more than 5% of their discretionary income to repay those loans starting in July. And that's income after you pay for necessities like food and housing. Already 7.5 million Americans have enrolled in this so-called SAVE plan. And there's more than 4 million of those borrowers had their monthly payments drop to zero if they were living paycheck to paycheck below a certain level. This plan is the most generous repayment program ever, and today we're doing it even faster and quicker than ever before. I'm proud to announce our SAVE plan. We are immediately canceling the debt loans for over 150,000 borrowers, nearly 6 months ahead of schedule. Starting today, we're canceling student debt for borrowers who are enrolled in the SAVE plan and have been paying student loans for as little as 10 years. If they borrowed less than $2,000, it's forgiven. $12,000, excuse me. The loan is forgiven. This action will be a huge help to graduates of community college and borrowers of smaller loans, putting them back on track faster for debt forgiveness than ever before. This builds on other progress I've made in canceling student debt for close to 4 million Americans through various actions. For example, we fixed what was called the Public Service Loan Program, Loan Forgiveness Program, which was designed to make sure that school teachers, firefighters, law enforcement officers, social workers, public servants get their student loans forgiven if they make payments for 10 years in a row and 10 years of public service at the same time. When I took office, there were 7,000 public servants who had taken advantage of this program and had it forgiven. But thanks to the reforms we made in the program, now there are nearly 800,000 have had their debts forgiven. 800,000. But let me close with this. This kind of relief can be life-changing for individuals and for their families. And it's good for the economy as a whole. By freeing millions of Americans from the crushing debt of student loan programs, it means they can finally get on with their lives instead of their lives being put on hold. They can think about buying a house, starting a home, starting a family, having a family future that they can enjoy, or saving for the family's future, saving and being able to put away a little bit of money. I'm proud to have been able to give borrowers like so many of you the relief you earned. I promise you I'm never going to stop fighting for hardworking American families. So if you qualify, you'll be hearing from me shortly. Thousands of people per month are eligible, about 25,000 a month. Every 2 months will be paid on a 50,000 basis, but are eligible for relief, and they'll begin a letter from me letting them know they're qualified. And when they get that letter, your debt's going to be forgiven. Look, folks, and it's also helping you who don't go to college. It's not just, people say to me sometimes, well, Joe, that's great, you're helping people get into college, but how about all those hardworking people you grew up with in the neighborhood? How about all those folks in labor unions? How about all those hardworking people who work with their hands? Why should they have? Well, just today my labor department announced this is not the student loan program, but $200 million in grants for registered apprenticeship programs around the country while you can learn a skilled trade and lead to good paying jobs. Everybody thinks if you're an electrician, you say one day, I want to be an electrician. And you got to go to school, basically. And these apprenticeship programs are 4 and 5 years before you qualify to have a license. They work like hell to get these licenses. And guess what? You work with your hands, you ought to be able to make a decent living. And that's why they're doing it now with my position on organized labor. So it matters. All this matters. My dad used to say, Joey, a paycheck is about more than, a job is about more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about opportunity. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay. You got a chance. That's all we're doing. And people are taking advantage, giving people a chance, a fighting chance to make it. Because no one who's willing to work hard in America should be denied the opportunity to have that chance. And so, how many of you had student loans forgiven? All right. I tell you what. How about anybody over $10,000? $30,000? $50,000? Next month, okay. Anyway, seriously, thank you. And people have to understand, you've not only did the right thing by busting your neck and going back to school and doing as well as you did in school, but you're breaking your neck for people. You're doing it through programs that benefit the society, benefit the American people. Just like I got criticized not long ago for being too favorable to organized labor and unions. Well, they're the best workers in the world. They're the most qualified technicians. No, they really are. They really are. And the economy is growing. It's growing. Jobs, income, across the board. We have the most advanced economy of any major nation in the world. We have a lot more to do. But with the help of all of you college graduates and who've gone paid off your student loans now, I'm confident we're going to get it all done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it.